Howdy, friends, floorheads, and true believers. When we last left our intrepid champions, their masked lives were crumbling and their unmasked lives were teetering on the edge of disaster. Ethan Gray, Grace's long lost husband and partner, is missing. But whispers swirl that he has returned as the fiery menace and thought long retired flames strike. Hostages, top floor chaos, and a burning showdown await at the Cryodyne offices on the top of floor of the spire. Can Silent Tempest, now a hero, confront her greatest trial? A battle against her former supervillain partner and the father of her child. Across town, an explosion rocks New Eden University. Are Professor McCoy and the Beacon's brilliant mentor and young Stevie caught in the blast and needing rescue? Or is hope already faded? Meanwhile, the mighty prophet Justin Jacobs is stripped of fortune, frozen out of his empire, and staring down ruin. Can he rise from the ashes and lead this fractured team? And lurking in the shadows, the Midnight Warden feels the cold gaze of Neuronexus closing in. Will the Warden outwit the mastermind of the Bloodcoin cartel or fall directly into his trap? There's only one way to find out, heroes. Buckle up, hold tight, and let's play to find out what fate has in store after the opening titles. All right, folks. So when we left off, we had forgotten to name our sixth issue. And being our sixth issue, it became a collection. So we now have one collection available to our four heroes. At any point, they can invoke that collection to change the face of a single die before we determine max, mid, and min. They can add something to the scene, and then I already forgot the third thing. What's the third thing they can do?
Ignore a minor twist.
That's right. Ignore a minor twist. So that's available to them in every issue going forward until they get a second collection. But in the meantime, we have two major situations happening. And when we left off, we kind of decided to split up. Silent Tempest, you found out that Flame Strike somehow seems to be back in action on the top floor of the spire of Cryodyne. And you decided to go there, and I believe Midnight Warden is going with you. And then on the other side of town in New Eden, Beacon has found out there was an explosion at the university science labs where Dr. McCoy and Stevie often are, and Beacon decided to head there with Prophet in tow. I think I want to start there. So, Prophet and Beacon, when you arrive onto campus, where do you think you would first show up? Imagine the science labs is like on the third floor of maybe a five-story building here at the university.
This is Beacon's thing, so I'm going to be there for his support. So, I guess we get on scene, Beacon, and what do you do?
Well, I'm just gonna go around toward where the office of my teacher professor is, and see if it looks like, is it in the blaze? Is it on fire?
Sure. Let's have you arrive on campus, and you're looking at the science building, right? And it's that fourth floor of the science building that had the explosion. You're seeing smoke billowing out. All of the windows have broken out. And fire teams have already signed. There's fire trucks. They're spraying water into arcs, trying to hit the fourth floor to kind of douse those flames. And Beacon and Prophet, when you arrive there is a professor that is kind of leaning up against a tree covered in black smoke. Not Professor McCoy, unfortunately. And thank, oh, it's unbelievable. Thank God you're here. I think there's people still up there.
Do you know if the Professor McCoy is inside?
Oh, it was the craziest thing. I think so. I think McCoy's was at the lab, and the series of events that led here were incredible. There was a tired grad student that was balancing a cup of coffee, and a clipboard tipped it over, and it dumped onto a console. And normally it wouldn't be a big deal to smoke coming from the console, but miraculously the ventilation fan was broken right above it, and that caused a bit of a power surge, which normally wouldn't be a problem, but it looks like the breakers didn't work. And then that led to a spark leaping from the console and hitting an untested chemical and just a huge explosion. I can't understand how a series of mishaps like that could happen and cause an explosion like that.
I went over to the nearest fire truck they're too busy fighting the fire, and I literally grab an oxygen canister and hand it to the guy.
Like Blue Velvet, he just takes the oxygen and he goes, "Oh, thank you." Yeah, I think so. I think he had a young boy with him, a teenager, an assistant, but I haven't seen them. And he kind of looks around and he goes, they might still be up there.
Thank you. Yeah, I look at the I look at the window. I'm gonna look for a window close enough to the lab, but that doesn't seem to be immediately on fire.
I grab Beacon's shoulder as we
Yeah.
walk away from this guy. I'm like, this is not time for thought. This is time for action. Go do what you need to do right now. I'll be there. And I walk the other way, and I hope he goes into action.
I was gonna ask him to come, but
What are you gonna do?
I turn back over. I could tell he's silent. He didn't move yet. I'm like, I'll be there. I'm just gonna take care of something first, but I will be there.
Okay. Well, I just spot a window that would be near the lab, but doesn't look immediately on fire. And
Okay.
I'm gonna rocket and crash through it.
All right, let's do a quick overcome here. So let's build your pool.
That's probably nuclear.
All right, so nuclear power and your attribute.
That's probably conviction.
Okay.
Yeah, that would fit.
And then your green die. Let's give it a roll.
Yeah, and I think does it fit for the principle of the indestructible?
Read it to me.
Overcome in a situation where you charge headlong into danger and use your max die.
No question. So you're going to get to use your max die here. Definitely.
Yay.
All right, let's give it a roll.
Oh, and everybody gains a hero point.
All right, let's everybody mark a hero point.
Oh, that's good.
Let's see.
This is very good.
Your max is a 10 on a 10. The action completely succeeds. So Beacon, walk me through it. You walk up to this building and you're going to end up right at the labs, unharmed and ready for action. Walk me through it.
Yeah, well, I look to find a window nearby, and I just make a quick calculation for the angle, and I just blast off like I've done a few times already. And I crash to the window and roll and stay low a bit and look around the room I am in.
You stand up and you kind of push your way through the smoke-choked wreckage of the university lab. There's twisted steel and shattered glass and a burning wreckage everywhere. Flames lick the countertops, casting wild shadows across overturned beakers, flickering monitors, and puddles of dangerous, unstable chemicals. At the center stands a woman you've never seen before. She's tall and poised, and she wears a yellow gold uniform and sleek green visor that gleam in the haze. Two Bloodcoin cartel bosses flank her, their gold-clad minions spread out behind them, the same type of thugs you tangled with at the bank. On one of the lab tables is Professor McCoy, bound and struggling alongside another person who has a hood over their head. Their fates are hanging by a thread. And as the woman in the gold costume is sly, her rising a knowing smile on the edge of her mouth, you can feel the odds shifting in the room. Like every stray spark, every creaking beam, and every drop of chemical is waiting for her subtle command to turn against you. Let me quickly show you a picture of our new friend.
Oh.
You should now be able to see.
Oh, I hate her already.
Looks pretty cool to me.
All right, let's move
That's
over here and we'll show everybody else. There she is there. Real quick before we cut over to the Spire, I want to get an idea what Prophet's doing.
He is talking to the fire chief that he knows.
Okay. What's his name?
Fire chief is Chief Johnson.
Okay.
Keep it simple. Chief Johnson, and he definitely owes me a favor. So I saw him over there when we were talking, and
so he's ordering all of his men around. You know, you got to go up there. The wind's coming this way, and we'll watch her. Let's get some ladders up there in case we have people still trapped inside.
Yeah. So it's going to be, a faraway conversation. You see two of us, and then you see him nod, and that's it.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to hold that in my pocket.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Let's now cut to the top of the Spire building. Silent Tempest and Midnight Warden, how do we think we're arriving on the scene?
I think quietly.
Yes, quietly. And I think Midnight Warden is following Silent Tempest also very quietly.
Now, as you approach the Spire, you look all the way up some 90 stories, and you can see at the very, very top is the Cryodyne offices. That is where Miranda Vale, the CEO's office, is. It takes up over the whole top floor. It's also the boardroom for the Cryodyne Corporation. How are we getting up there? Are we just going to hit an elevator button and head on up? What are we doing?
We're gonna take the elevator like 3 floors below, and then take the stairs the rest of the way.
Okay.
Can't you fly? I mean, I can literally teleport. That might be.
Have
I mean,
you
just
ever gotten blasted in the face with something almost hot as the sun?
I mean, I was thinking we could teleport 3 floors below and then take the stairs. Not if you say
We
the
can also
elevator's
do
dealing.
that.
The elevator might be a little bit, dangerous. What if they rigged it with bombs or
Well, in that case, then I can fly.
in
Let's
the elevator? But then
teleport.
we're already in the elevator. I can teleport out.
Yeah,
It's
teleport out,
fine.
yeah.
It's fine. Okay.
All right. So we cut to the two of you working up the last few flight of stairs. You arrive to the door and you push the door open. That's now taking you to the top floor. And you step into Miranda Vale's top floor office, an enormous modern space of glass and steel stretched wide under a soaring 25-foot ceiling. A sleek boardroom table cuts through the center of her office, where terrified board members sit frozen, sweat beading on their brows. Against the far glass wall, Miranda Vale herself is pinned, bound in twisted scrap metal, with an intricate harness locked around her neck. A venomous contraption glinting with tiny canisters poised to trigger at the slightest wrong move. You can already tell that if she moves or she is moved, the injections will be immediate and the poison could kill her. But looming over all of them is Flame Strike, towering, armored, and monstrous. His blackened lead-colored suit ripples with searing heat. Flames hiss and spit from every joint, licking the air like hungry serpents. Through the glass walls, the city of New Eden sprawls out before you. But in here, time feels razor thin. So let's take a quick peek at a non-family photo of your former partner. Oh, I forgot to show it to you. Hold on 1 second. Show players. That is Flame Strike. Flame Strike stands in a fully armored costume, almost about 10 feet tall. Every single edge has flames burning out of it. His eyes are burning red, and as he stands there. And Silent Tempest, as you stand there, he doesn't seem to notice you as you're taking in the entire scene. The board members that are just scared to death at the board seat, and Miranda Vale in her beautiful white suit and blonde hair and custom glasses is pinned against one of the walls with this contraption around her neck.
Mm-hmm.
You also see a flint of darkness in the far corner, almost like a shadow. It's somebody you have long forgotten about. What seems to emerge from the shadow is this woman in an all-black costume that has just darkness tendrils that escape about her. You recognize her immediately as somebody you had encountered in your villain life. You see Dark Veil. Now, she's a bit of a minor villain, but you two have a history, because when you first started to partner with Flame Strike, before there was ever a Mr. and Mrs. Gray, she was dating him, and you stole him from her, and they were the original partners through all of this. Luckily, nobody has noticed that Silent Tempest and Midnight Warden have arrived. All right, let's do a few things real quick. First, let's talk about the scene. Let me make it visible to everybody. Let me know if you guys can see the scene.
No.
No.
It is empty.
No. Try it again. Show to players. Still nothing?
Probably rights. Permissions.
Maybe we'll let me do it if I already have it open. Hold on. Show to players. Show to players. Is it not coming up?
The window's coming up, but it's empty.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
showing up black for me now. And we'll put this Why are you doing this to me?
You just want all the fun scene to yourself.
I know,
get it.
right?
I get it.
Does it come up now?
Negative.
Oh my God. I love Roll20 so much. All right, so let me just do a quick refresh on Roll20.
Not sponsored, believe it or not.
Yeah, right. Luckily, my wallpaper that is now visible on stream is of superheroes as well.
Convenient.
All right.
There we
Show to
go.
players. Got it now?
Negativo.
All right. Do you do a quick refresh on yours for me, please?
All
Alright.
right.
Reloading. Hostages everywhere still empty.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, still empty.
Oh my goodness.
Unless we use this is a stick up one, because that one's
Yeah. No. I'll use hostages everywhere. I'll just kind of walk you guys through it. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I'm not sure what's happening.
All
there.
good.
Yeah.
Let me also get my die roller back.
See, this
All
is this is how they know it's live.
That's right.
Not pre-recorded.
Yeah.
I spent like 10 minutes prepping everything to make sure that everything would look good. That's what I get. All right. I appreciate everybody on stream being patient with us as we get through this. We are going to start the scene. Now, the way we're going to run this is we're going to run this as 2 scenes all happening at once. So it's going to be the same tracker for both battles. You're going to be able to hand across to each other across scenes. You're going to be able to hand over everything. So you get to first decide who's going to go first. And I think Silent Tempest has had the most information dropped. Silent Tempest not only has what she believes to be her ex-husband, or no, her current husband, potentially now ex-husband, suited up as a villain again, unretired, holding a very important person hostage with his ex on top of the Cryodyne office. So I think you get to decide first. And I'll give you a quick rundown of who you can pick. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So you've got Beacon back at the lab. You've got yourself, Silent Tempest. You've got Prophet, just, I guess, raising money for the fire department. You've got Midnight Warden standing right next to you. You've got Serendipity, the woman in the yellow costume with the green glasses. You've got 2 Gold Crew bosses that are with her, 2 Gold Coin crew minions with them, Flame Strike, Dark Veil, and of course we could even start with the environment and the scene if you want.
I'm going to start with Dark Veil.
Ooh, okay. So Dark Veil is first. So she is there kind of in the corner and she turns around, she goes, "Oh, isn't this wonderful? I feel like it's a reunion, Tempest. I get the impression that there's problems at home."
Now, who's keeping secrets?
It's just some of the women in my life and past are aggravating.
So I'm taking a look at her powers. I think we see her kind of form her hand and reach to an empty belt. There's nothing on her belt, but she seems to draw a sword out of nowhere, and it's made of pure darkness. So she is going to use the action, "Feel my dark blade." She's going to attack using close combat, and she's going to use her max die. And then she'll be able to defend against all attacks against you, Silent Tempest, with her mid die until the start of the next turn. So she's going to attack with Dark Blade and close combat. And she's currently engaged with only one opponent, and that is you. She's going to roll.
Jesus Christ.
All right. She gets to use her max die and defend all attacks with her mid die. Her max die is 10. So this is 10 damage coming into you, Silent Tempest. What a roll.
Ooh.
A 6, 10, and a 10.
Ow.
Any reaction? Do you have a reaction? If you look at your abilities, anything with an R?
Nothing that will count for this.
Okay. You also have available to you the like the standard hit the deck, right?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. This is used out of turn to defend yourself as a reaction. Counts as a risky action that can be used out of turn and causes a minor twist when used. So you'll build your pool, and your mid die is what you'll reduce the damage by. And then you're going to we'll have to talk about a minor twist.
I'm going to do, for powers, awareness.
Good.
I think that comes here. Oh, wait, let me click it. Qualities. I know-ish this person. Would insight make sense?
No question. You have fought alongside of her before.
That's true. And I'm in the green.
All right. Let's give it a roll. Very nice. You roll, your mid is an 8, so you're only going to end up taking 2 damage. Walk me through the Silent Tempest as she leaps through the air with darkness trailing off of her like smoke. She comes down with this dark blade. It's going to do a little bit of damage, but not complete.
Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I have fought someone close combat who also can kind of know what I do. So it takes me a little bit longer to sidestep the attack, which catches my arm still.
Excellent. So the blade comes down and your arm comes up and you get a little bit of a slice of darkness, and there's no damage to your suit. There's no damage even to the skin under your suit, but you feel that dark blade kind of cut under the skin as you feel it. She now gets to choose who's next.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is going to choose Midnight Warden. Midnight Warden, you are up next. You see her come down and cut. So far, Flame Strike has not recognized what's happening. This is all happening very quickly.
Okay. Okay, so we have... So that, just to recap on the scene, we have a bunch of board members sitting at the table. We have the CEO currently in a trap around her neck, roped up, and Flame Strike just standing on the table watching this while those two fight.
That's correct. In fact, let me try to do this. Can you guys see the Cryodyne office challenges?
No.
No.
Do me a favor. Can you, when you go to the journal,
Mm-hmm.
do you see it on the journal down
Yes.
under challenges and threats?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And does it open?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's empty.
it does, but it's blank.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. This is so frustrating. I love you, Roll20, but I like Foundry better. All right. So there's a challenge that's available to you, Midnight Warden, and that is disarm the poison neck brace. It is a 5-box challenge. So that is also a potential action you could take. And that would be, of course, using an overcome.
Okay, so it would be an overcome action to do that. Okay. I don't even know what I'm looking at. So I think seeing Serendipity, that's her name, right?
Those dark
Sorry, no,
with you is Dark Veil
Dark
and
Veil is
Flame
one and
Strike.
Serendipity is on the other side, right? I'll get that eventually. Seeing Dark Veil jump at Tempest,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to
Think you might attack her in
yeah,
return.
I think I'm just, I'm feeling pulled into directions. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to just attack her, just like try to rip her off of Midnight. Not Midnight. Sorry.
All right. So
Of
Silent.
Tempest.
do me a favor. Take a look at your powers under your
Mhm.
abilities. Are there any of those abilities you think that would work here?
I think I have cut the strings, subdue, like that's from subdue, attack using teleportation, hinder the same target using your min die.
That's great.
So I think that's what I'm trying to do. Just throw her, just go over there in the, I can teleport other people, but like maybe just go behind her and pull her away and just throw her into the gaggle of board members. I think for that would be teleportation.
Well,
Would be
yeah.
my power?
So your ability forces you to pick one thing,
Yes.
right?
Attack using teleportation, correct.
Okay. So teleportation, what quality?
Creativity feels a little not
I'm okay
quite-
with creativity.
Okay.
Yeah, teleport and throw like that. Sure. Let's do creativity, and then your green die.
And my green die, yeah. Let's
give it a
do
roll. So you teleport behind her. This and it uses, what die does it use?
Attack using teleportation, hinder the same target using your min die.
And what is the
So,
attack with? You attack.
Teleportation. So it would be the
I think it should tell you what die you use to attack with. So hold on one second. We are rusty kids.
Yes.
We are rusty. Let's take a quick look at
We're
you.
getting
Yes,
it cleaned off.
It was subdue. I might have clipped that then off from the.
Let's see.
It was surprising.
Attack using teleport. Oh, so it's just going to use your mid, and then you hinder with your min. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to attack her for 5
Mhm.
and hinder her with a 2. So she's going to have a -1 hinder,
Excellent.
and you're going to do 5 damage to her.
Good.
What does this look like?
I just immediately teleport behind her, and I think just to throw off, I think I say, I don't care for the assistant in danger act, and just throw her onto the table into like the arms of like several of the board members.
And she kind of drops right on top of the huge boardroom table, and it kind of cracks. It's got a marble top to it as she falls onto it. And you would swear, Midnight Warden, that she almost phases into the table a little bit before she kind of rises back up again. All of these old stodgy men and women are like, ah, as she kind of crashes there. Let's go back to the scene. So you have acted, Midnight Warden. You can pass off to any of the other 2 heroes in the other scene. We still have Flame Strike here, who has not acted. We have got the actual
I think
scene.
I would like to go for Flame Strike.
You're going to
I
go
have the
Flame
stream open,
Strike?
so I see, but I would go for Flame Strike. I want to see
All
what
right.
Flame Strike does.
Flame Strike is up next. Let's bring Flame Strike into this now. As soon as that crash happens, he turns and realizes who's here. And you see that metal helmet, Silent Tempest, with the flames pouring out of the eyelets. And you remember, even though it's been years now since your husband has worn this outfit, this armor of his, he himself is unpowered. He gets all of his powers from wearing this armor. And his voice was always kind of this deep, edgy voice that would come through this metal. And he was known a bit and when he was fighting as a supervillain, as being very talkative. So when he kind of turns his helmet towards the 2 of you, you're expecting some sort of Flame Strike, witty banter, and he says nothing. So I'm going to look at his abilities, and I think he's going to do an ability called Light It Up. Hinder 1 target using fire. Use your max die to attack that. I'm sorry. Hinder 1 target using your max die and attack that target using your mid die. So we just see him take his hands up, and in the creases of the metal of his metal gauntlet, just like this lava almost fire comes out, and it comes directly for you, Silent Tempest. So he is going to use fire, ranged combat, and he uses the same status die as the scene. So he is in green like everybody else. And his attack with Light It Up is going to use max die and hinder that target with the mid. So you are going to be, Jesus, hit for 9 damage, Silent Tempest. And then the mid die is a 4. You're going to pick up a -2 hinder. Let's call that on fire.
You might need a counselor after this.
Counselor.
We're past that point.
All right. So we haven't seen you in a while. How have things been? All right, Flame Strike. This is, boy, poor Silent Tempest. What is your situation? Are you in the yellow yet?
Yeah, I'm in the yellow.
Good. She's getting there.
Flame Strike has acted. I think Flame Strike is going to hand it over to Prophet.
Excellent.
So we flash over to the campus. Where on campus does Prophet appear in the scene?
He's gonna appear. So the scene, do we have any other scene things that are going on similar to the other scene, or is it just
That's a
all of the
great
people?
question.
It's important for what I'm going to do.
I agree. The one thing that's key here is that I'm going to try to show it to you, and it's not going to work.
No.
So let me hit show to players, show to everyone. Do you see the new Eden University Science Labs?
Yes, I do.
All right, that
But
is.
I don't see the stuff.
All right, excellent, perfect. Let's try one more thing. Let's try opening the challenges for it. Show to players, show to everyone. Still nothing, I assume.
Nothing. Yeah.
All right, so there are 2 challenges on this scene. The first one is called Free McCoy, and that is 4 boxes, and that's to get McCoy safely out of here. That's the professor who's tied up on the table. And the table next to him is your second challenge, also 4 boxes, Free the Hooded Hostage.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so you go back to the scene, and one of the unbroken windows crashes and all the glass comes flying in, spraying at everybody.
Okay.
And it's one of the ladders from the ladder truck with the hose on the top. And Prophet is standing there with a fireman's hat, his t-shirt, and a fire axe strapped to his back.
Amazing.
And he surveys the scene, and he takes the fire hose and he just hits the valve full open, and he is blasting it at Serendipity.
Ooh,
Full
okay.
All right.
Full force attack on Serendipity. Now, looking at your abilities, do any apply here?
So I'm going to say imposing my quality, because me coming through.
Well, first, I
can just do a regular attack, right?
You can do a regular attack, so we're not using an ability.
Not using a green ability.
Got it.
I'm just going to use power to quality, and
Yep.
So I'm going to go with imposing, because hopefully this is an imposing scene. And then I'm going to go with presence as my power. Also, a big figure coming in, looking like he knows what he's doing. And that's what I'm going to do. And as I hit this valve, I'm going to yell over to Beacon. I'm going to be like, go save your friends. And I'm going to handle this. So I'm going to roll.
So very quickly before you roll, she has an ability called Lucky Charm.
Love it.
It's inherent. And the heroes act as being in the green zone for status die, access to abilities, and for the purpose of all of your abilities. Heroes may remove this ability with 3 overcome successes. So somehow she's manipulating, and this might change what you do, right?
This totally changes.
Yeah. So she somehow is manipulating luck and probabilities, which is forcing both you and Beacon to stay at green, regardless of how the scene progresses or how much damage you take.
Which is no good for me, because I get better as I get hurt.
Yeah, so you need 3 overcomes to break it
against her. These are overcomes against her.
Against her.
Perfect. Principle of the tactician.
Oh.
Overcome when I can flash back to how I prepared for this exact situation. I get to use my max die, and each of us gain a hero point. And it's an overcome action. So I've prepared for this because I know the chief. He loaned me his stuff.
Absolutely love this.
And this is it. So that's so let me just change
basically
this.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to get her off kilter, right? So she is standing there as kind of this mastermind of luck and probability, and she caused like a series of 5 events to lead to an explosion in the lab, and now she's controlling every way that things could go wrong for you while she's there. It will go wrong for you, and every bit of luck she needs, she'll get. But if you can get her off kilter with 3 overcome successes, then that ability, Lucky Charm, is gone. So you're blasting her with the hose using this.
I am blasting her with the hose, and now I can use my tactician. And we can get multiple successes in one overcome action, or no?
No.
Okay,
well,
so
it
then
depends. If you get a 12 plus as your effect die, right? Which is your max die.
My max
die.
Yep.
The action succeeds beyond expectations. I would give you 2 marks of the 3.
Okay.
If you get
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my +4 right now.
Oh, okay.
So that I got from the last issue.
So what is it from last issue that's giving you this advantage now?
So not having money, not having all my fun stuff and my bravado, I'm literally using my brain and the power of me. So I have relationships with people. You couldn't steal
Right.
those from me. You stole all my money, but I still know people and they respect me. So that is
Love it.
why this is going to work.
So this is going to be
All
a +4 to your effect die.
Yes, to my
So you build your pool.
Yep, I got my pool, and I'm just going to roll it, and we're going to add 4, right?
Yep.
Or 14. I rolled max.
All right, walk me through it. You've almost stopped her from being able to manipulate luck,
Yep.
keep you in the green. So you open the hose up and
Yeah, I see her. I'm just like, her feet are sliding as she's like trying to stop the force of the water. Maybe she's against the wall now as the water's just spraying everywhere.
I love it. Absolutely love it. It just blasts all over her. The 2 lieutenants are staring. Each of them have got a minion group of minions with them. We go back to the scene. Prophet, you have acted. You can now hand us off to Beacon, Tempest, Serendipity, either of the crew bosses
It's going
that you're
to
facing.
Beacon.
It's
I
going
need
to
him to
Beacon.
rally. This is a rally cry, Beacon. I'm here for you, man.
Beacon, you see this, you see Prophet enter like only Prophet can.
Yes.
With his fire axe. Where's that baseball bat? That's long gone. And there's the
my
hose
new
just
man.
knocking Serendipity into the wall.
The hooded hostage. Does it look small enough to be Stevie?
So Stevie's not tiny, right? Stevie is man-sized. He's a teenager. It is really difficult for you to tell who that hooded figure is. But it's possible it is Stevie.
I'm gonna go for that one first.
You're going to go for the hooded?
Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah, that's an overcome, right?
It'll be an overcome action. Yep. And you need 4 successes to completely save the free hooded hostage.
Not gonna be as good as Prophet.
Did any of
You
your
did
over-
get your, you did
Any of
get
your overcome
plus
abilities
1
work?
hero point, right? When I do the overcome, make sure you grab a
Yeah.
hero point for that.
Yeah, he's got a hero point, but that's one that he'll spend next. Remember, it
Yeah.
transfers over next.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got Principle of Justice and Principle of the Indestructible. Well, it is an act of injustice in progress.
This is
kind
an
of.
innocent person on the table that's been caught into all of this because of your actions. I think that's definitely counts. So you'll be able to use your max die here.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. Let me see.
So build your
How
pool.
would I? Yeah. I think because Prophet kind of distracted everyone, I'm gonna sort of kind of sneak in and try to get close to the hostage and then try to remove them. Probably
Yeah, the
go
first thing
out
you
the
need to
window.
unbind them, right? So they're tied down to this table. So I think the first thing is going to have to do is kind of get rid of some of the things that are binding this person to the table. So
Okay, so
so
I'm
willpower?
gonna take strength then,
Okay, that makes sense. Quality,
and I'm gonna go with conviction.
love it. And then your green die.
And Green, yeah.
Now you have
So,
bonuses from last issue. Do you want to use any of them?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my +3.
Very nice. So we're going to mark the +3. What is it about last issue that you're leveraging here?
Trying to remember what would fit from last issue.
So everything that you saw, you were a bystander through most of the tragedies that were
Yeah.
happening last issue. It wasn't until the very end that we realized how it's touched Beacon's life.
Yeah, probably when I watched the explosion on TV, and I said no, not again.
Yep, beautiful. So you're
Yeah.
going to use your max die, which is a 6. You spent a +3 boost to that. That makes it a 9. On a 9, the action completely succeeds. Walk me over as you kind of get half of those ropes untied and broken.
I just kind of sneak in while everybody's distracted, and I start trying to tear the 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 ropes or whatever it is, and I'm just saying, "Shh, don't worry, I'm gonna get you out."
And this person kind of, you can see them turn their head, and they've got kind of this burlap hood that's tied around the neck, almost like a scarecrow that's covering the face, and you can hear this sound. So they must have some sort of gag or something in their mouth that's preventing them from talking. The one thing that you notice is that they seem to be moving slow, almost lethargic. Maybe they've been drugged or something, but you're still unable to fully know what the identity of this person is. I have marked one of the boxes towards freeing the hooded hostage.
Okay,
We
one of
now
4.
need to know who you're going to hand this off to. Let me quickly tell you your choices. You got Silent Tempest and then a slew of villains. Serendipity hasn't gone. Neither of the lieutenants have gone. Neither of the minion crews have gone here in this scene. And then we have the scene itself. The environment can go.
I'm gonna go with Silent Tempest because I think she deserves a chance to hit back at this point.
So Silent Tempest, you're partially on fire. This action's going to be at a -2. You have a -2 hinder on you. We're cut back to the top of the spire in this office. Pure chaos. Your former partner in crime has shot fire lava from his armored gauntlet at you without saying a word.
All right. She's on fire, gently attempting to put herself out, slow, methodical. And she's going to say, Dark Veil, I just need to know one thing. Are you mind controlled?
She is getting up, kind of trying to almost save face after being thrown across the room by Midnight Warden. And somehow just you can see in her face that she's angry to have someone be able to sneak up behind her. She usually sneaks up behind everyone else. And she turns, she goes, "Oh, darling, just like before he met you, I'm in full control."
Oh, that's the funniest part about this, because he didn't even like you. Warden, get it together. You're better than this.
What did I do now?
What are we doing, Tempest?
I am going to. Yeah, just because she made that quip. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use silent precision on her.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick up debris of the table and beam it at her. So this attack uses awareness. I ignore all penalties on this attack, ignore any defense actions, and it cannot be affected by reactions.
Very, very nice. So this will use your mid die, and it says you have to use awareness.
Yes, so
All right.
awareness. I'm thinking I want to insight,
Love it.
and I'm on yellow.
All right. What is your yellow die?
8.
Okay. This is your mid, and we don't use the -2, so that hinder does not affect you. Very nice. 6 damage. Very nice. She goes from 40 down to 34.
Oh.
What's this look like as she's kind of standing on the table and you attack her?
You'll see, and it's super slow, not even a rush. I pick up debris of the table, tee it up like 2 times, remembering how Prophet plays with like baseballs, rear back and toss it at her. And as I'm throwing it and it leaves my hand, you just see it morph into a perfect circle, beaming her in the middle of her forehead.
And you have fought alongside her before, and you know that she can dip into shadows and it's very hard to hit her. But this happens so quickly because of your awareness that you clock her, and she again falls back down to the table. All right. So my question for you is, we have got choices here. Silent Tempest has gone. You're only going to get one handoff here.
Yeah.
And then I do the rest of the handoffs for this round. Do you want
Yeah.
to hand off to Serendipity, either of the crew bosses back at the lab, either of the crew minions back at the lab, or do you want to hand it off to the scene?
It's just all bad. All bad options. I'm going to hand it off to Serendipity.
Excellent. Serendipity is up next. Let's take a look at what Serendipity does. We cut back to the lab. Serendipity.
It's taking a long drink right now.
Yeah, she sure is. So she's going to use an ability that she has called Tough Break. Hinder using luck manipulation. Use your max die. Recover using your mid plus min die. So what I think is going to happen is as the hose is spraying towards her, you see kind of her twiddle her fingers, and the window that you came crashing through, the frame just gives. It was a faulty screw at the top of the frame. How did that pass all inspections? And it's going to drop and cut the hose off and going to hinder you as the hose slaps you into the back of the head and knocks you down as you go. So she's going to use luck manipulation. She's going to use science. And then she is, her status die is based on the number of heroes with a penalty. There's nobody in this scene with a penalty. So it's 0 heroes with a penalty. She only gets a D6. And this is going to be a hinder on you. And she's going to use her mid die. Her mid die is a 4. That's going to be a -2 hinder. So I'm going to add 10. Prophet, you have got a -2 hinder. What do we think is a good name for it? Slapped?
It's like crazy hose.
Hosed.
There you go.
-2 hosed. Okay. And she gets to recover using her I'm sorry. It's hinder using her max die. 9. It's a -3 hinder. Hosed. And then she uses her min and mid to recover. She recovers 7. And she hasn't taken any damage, so she's still at 60. All right. The board is mine. You guys just left this all for me. I think that the crew bosses that Serendipity brought with her are going to act. So Gold Crew Boss A, let me bring them up. This is a big guy. He's almost as big as you, Prophet. He has a kind of a military grade pistol, and he shoots at you. And the crew bosses have an ability called I'll Fire You. They can boost 2 minion squads with 1 boost action. So he's going to be firing his gun and not trying to damage you, but maybe try to clear out some areas here to boost the other 2 minion squads. So he has got just a D8. And he only rolled a 1. So both of the goons are at a +1 as a result. I think the next crew boss is going to try to shoulder football tackle you, just run at you and put a shoulder into you. Again, trying to boost the other 2 minions with a 4 that puts the goons at a +2. So both goon squads are at a +3. Let me update my actions here. Both bosses have gone. All right. Now for our crew members, our gold crew, this goon squad of 3 or 4, all wearing gold, yellow suits. They are opening fire on you, Prophet. They're going to use their ability, We Got the Best Guns. When attacking, they get a +1 boost. So each of them are going to be attacking at a +4 from the crew bosses. And so their boosts are going to go away. They're both at a +4. The first ones fire at you for 4 damage. or 5 damage. 1 plus the 4.
So do I get a defend, my 1 defend action?
You sure
during this?
can. Yep.
Okay.
If you want to go ahead and do that, you sure can. You want to do your hit the deck, use an out of turn defend to defend yourself as a reaction, counts as a risky action. It can be
Yes.
used out of turn and causes a minor twist. Or do you have a reaction ability?
I do, but it's the wrong color.
Mm.
So I am going to hit the deck.
Hit the deck. Build your pool.
Yeah, it's not the best pool for hitting the deck because usually I don't do that thing.
What's your
All
power?
right, we're gonna go with vitality because they're shooting me, and even if the bullets are grazing me, it's not going to affect me. And I'm gonna, how about conviction?
Love it.
These moves ain't gonna take me down.
That's
There's
right.
no way. These guys are not gonna take me down.
You're here
And
to
then-
fight. You're here to fight the gold woman who's really lucky.
Okay. Cool.
You take no damage.
Cool.
So how does that look as the goon squad is firing on you?
As the goon squads are firing, I'm pretty sure there's a little joystick at the top of that ladder.
Mhm.
So I'm literally maybe I just hard right that joystick and it just slams into the rest of the frame and the rest of the windows. And maybe I'm taking out windows as I go, just like as I'm going. Yeah.
So
The chief at the bottom is like, what is going on?
I owe you no more favors. All right. The other gold crew is going to fire on you at a +5. That's 9 damage coming at your Prophet.
Oh,
That one you're going to have to take
that one
like
I
a
have to
hero.
take. Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to our scene, which you can't see. Thanks again. Roll 20. And they're going to hand it off to the scene. So it's time for some environment action. So first I'm going to go ahead and mark us. We're at the first box of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds. So we've got to round 1. It's still in the green, of course. And let's take a look at our environments. Let's start off on the labs here. So the labs are going to act. I think this is going to be just all of the fire and the chemicals and the explosions happening. And I think this is going to be a hinder. So the environment's going to do a hinder against a beacon. It's going to use its environmental dice are unstable compounds, which is a D8, innocent students, which is a D6, and what's that smell at a D10. That is going to result in a mid die at 5. That's going to be a -2 on you, Beacon. And I think it's going to be that burns. -2, that burns on Beacon. Now
Real
let's
quick.
go over to the. Oh, go ahead.
I probably should have needed to use my hinder on that defense roll, correct?
Yep. So take 3 extra damage, but that gets rid of that hinder.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. All right, let's go over to the Cryodyne office's turn. The Cryodyne office has 3 dice, a D10 for glass windows, a D8 for high tech, and a D6 for top of the spire. And I think it's going to introduce a new threat. Send in the drones. So it's
didn't
going to
have enough of those.
Yeah, right. It's going to create a new minion squad called drones. They're just going to be D4. And they are going to roll against you, Midnight Warden. These security drones kind of drop out of the ceiling. They're here to protect Miss Vale. They don't know who's a villain, who's a hero. You're in a dark costume, and then their AI, they decide you must be a villain, right? Because villains wear bright costumes, and they're going to go ahead and attack you with their D4. And you're going to take 2 damage as you get like little tiny lasers that shoot out at you. Go ahead and take 2 damage for me.
Done.
That is the scene. That is the full round. Let's go ahead and reset. The question is who does the scene hand off to? I think the scene is going to hand off to Serendipity. So we cut back to the labs. Serendipity is not at all happy with you. Right now, Prophet has no hinders. Tempest has a -2 hinder on fire. Let's look here. She's going to use her ability, ouch. That's unfortunate. She's going to hinder using luck manipulation against multiple targets and use her max die, and then attack one of those targets with mid die. So we see her kind of just tilt her head a little bit, and one of the Bunsen burners tips over. Just like it was just not balanced correctly, and it kind of tips over and causes a whole string of chemicals to light on fire. And she's going to use that to hinder and then attack Beacon. So she's going to use this is going to hinder both Prophet as well as Beacon. It's going to be luck manipulation. Let's use science. And do I have any heroes with penalties? Beacon has a penalty, Prophet does not, but that puts her status die at 8. Because she has 1 to 2 heroes with at least 1 penalty. Let's give it a roll. A 2, 6, and a 7. She's going to hinder multiple targets with the 6. That is going to be a -2. Beacon, you're at -4. That burns. I'm sorry, no, you're at a second -2. So you're at -2. That burns. And then a second -2 for chemical fire. Prophet, you are -2 chemical fire. And attack one of those targets with your mid die. This chemical fires are doing 6 damage to you, Beacon.
5.
5 damage because?
Because I can
You have an ability,
reduce
right? What is
damage
it?
by 1. Energy dispersion field. So in the green, I can reduce damage by 1.
All right, go ahead and take 5 damage for me. Serendipity is acted. She's going to hand it off to one of the crew bosses, who is going to try to hinder you, Beacon.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, that's right. That's what you need is one more, right? So Gold Crew Boss A is going to hinder you by trying to knock you over. Oh my goodness. That's another -2 on you, Beacon. Knocked over. You have 3 hinders on you right now.
Yeah.
-2 for that burns, a -2 chemical fire, and a -2 knocked over. Crew Boss is then going to hand this off to... I think we're going to hand it off to Prophet. Before we do that, let's take a 10-minute break.
Okay.
You are superheroes.
All right, we are
You're
back.
superheroes. Hero.
All right, Prophet.
You're not here.
You can see Beacon is starting to get not going for the professor, but this unknown hostage is breaking the ropes of this unknown hostage and starting to free them. You are being targeted by both of these lieutenants as well as these other gold suited goons that are attacking you. Serendipity is trying to affect and manipulate things. Her ability, that lucky charm ability, has just one overcome action left to get rid of and allow you to go beyond just the green.
Yeah, I guess somehow I'm intuiting that she's holding me back from my potential. I don't know why. I just have this feeling that I just can't do what I need to do if she's not tussling with me. So
well, I feel like it's like even as you're trying to like move and like start to walk, you notice like that you're tripping on the dumbest things. It's just everything seems to be just against you.
Yeah, that's the excuse I'm going to tell Chief Johnson.
That's
what
exactly
happened with the
right.
ladder and all that stuff. It wasn't me.
Master of Luck Serendipity was up there. I had
all
no
right,
choice.
I'm gonna attempt to do this last overcome action
Okay.
on Serendipity. This time I'm gonna use my principal of the team. So I'm gonna use my status, and I get to use my max die as team leader. And each of my allies get another hero point.
All right, so let's mark that second hero point or third hero point, I think, at this point.
Third, yeah.
And the way it's going to make sense is I see that Beacon understands that I'm handling the goons. He's going to do the hero stuff, and he's getting the crap kicked out of him, apparently. And I think I make a motion to come through the window off the ladder and like help him. And Beacon, maybe you like shake your head and like point over to her. Like, I'm gonna do my part, you go do your part, and I'm good. I'm good with that.
All right.
And I'm actually proud of him. I'm proud. He doesn't need me.
So how are you? What does this overcome action look like? How are we gonna like make her lose just that last bit of focus?
So we're in a lab and there's a bunch of stuff around, and I realize, so there's got to be vats of something, liquid nitrogen. There's definitely a giant thing of liquid nitrogen. I'm going to take my fire axe and knock the top of it off so it just makes this freezing cloud near her. And maybe that just distracts her. Maybe it messes with her mojo. I don't know. But that's what I'm going to do.
Love it. Let's do it. So build your pool.
So I'm going to use, because I'm using the fire axe, I will use signature weaponry.
Yep.
And I will use my persuasion, and the reason that's going to work is because I'm still trying to get her full attention on me. Beacon is doing a lot of stuff. I'm going to do everything on my power that she's going to think I'm the biggest threat in the room and leave her.
I'm excited to hear the superhero banter.
There we go.
And your status die is green. Let's roll it.
Unfortunately.
Any bonuses?
No.
Okay.
No.
And you remember you are currently at a -2 chemical fire.
Correct. Well, you know what? I have one bonus left, so I might as well. So now I'm at -1. It was only a
-1. Okay.
So we'll take that because I need this to happen really bad.
That's going to put you at a 6. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing.
It's a 4. I'm sorry. 4 -1 is 3.
No, you're using your max.
I'm sorry, max. Yeah, so it's a 5.
6, which goes down to a 5. So the action succeeds with a minor twist. Do me a favor, take a look at your 2 potential twists, see if either of those work.
So the principle of the team twist. What embarrassment did you just cause as a representative of your team?
All right. I want you to, I would think for a second on that. What is the banter? What are you saying to her as you finally make her off kilter and her complete control of probabilities and luck is now diminished and free for you and Beacon?
Yeah. So I as I hit the thing off and it starts frosting everything, I'm like, freeze, villain. And I kind of like, I kind of smile and I just want to make sure Beacon heard it. And he's all like hurt and injured and he just shakes his head. It's like, no.
I'm like, eh.
I almost did it like there's a camera around and there's no camera.
Nobody appreciates your humor at all, Prophet.
That's
All
fair.
right, so that's going to mark her last box. What is this twist?
The twist is that the canister is toppled over and has frozen the floor, and it's all of a sudden all the water that I just sprayed in there is like turning to ice. And
Absolutely
we're gonna
love
slide
it.
around.
Yep, let's do a -1 Prophet hinder, and that hinder is going to be icy floor.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to read off the list you can hand this off to. We've got Dark Veil, Midnight Warden, Flame Strike, Beacon, Silent Tempest, Crew Boss, one of the crew bosses, both of the goon squads, the Scene, and the Cryodyne drones.
So I am gonna pass this off to Silent Tempest.
Silent Tempest. We cut back to Miss Vale's office, pure chaos. Person you assume is your ex-husband has been flaming you. His ex-girlfriend is being attacked by you and Midnight Warden. You've got some challenges out there. I think the one challenge is to free Miss Vale.
We got time for that.
Okay.
we have time for that. We gotta deal with some of these threats. Warden.
Yes.
I know there's some powers of yours you don't enjoy using. One may be really good right now if you can look inside someone's head.
Okay. It's your date night.
And bring them back. So what she's going to do is she is going to do the catalyst of change. Boost all nearby allies with transmutation using your max plus mid die. Hinder yourself with your min die. I would like to add, I have a +3 and a +2, but I would like to add a +2 to this roll
All right, from
to
last
counteract. Yes, with the on fire, because I learned it's okay to have some help. Sometimes
the power of friendship is amazing.
Oh,
all right, that counteracts your hinder. Your hinder is now gone, so this will be a flat roll, and you're going to boost your ally with your min plus your max.
Yes, so it starts with, where'd it go? Transmutation. I would like to use my conviction.
Yep. And you're at yellow?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Let's go.
And what did you say? This is a +2?
It will be max. It will be max plus mid dice. So we're looking at 9.
9 plus the 2 is 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to give a +3.
Oh, not the +2 because it counteracts with my hinder.
Oh, you're right. You're right. All right. So that's going to put us at 9. So that's going to be a +3 for Midnight Warden. Now, what I'm not sure of is what does this transmutation boost look like that's going to allow Midnight Warden to be that much more effective?
He is going to feel something within his skull. It feels extremely odd. Trust me, I'm a teacher. You got this. I got this. I think I get this part. It feels as if it's unpeeling layers that he may have been hiding.
We came for the superhero tale. We're staying for the body horror. I can tell you just got done playing Trophy Dark.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Brains all like onions.
I will give myself, I'm going to hinder myself with my min die.
And your min is a 2, so that's only a -1. What do we think that hinder is?
Oof, headache.
I love it. Headache. All right. So the question now, Tempest, is who do you want to hand off to?
I don't want to be ganged up again, so I'm gonna go ahead and do one of the henchmen.
Okay. You want to do the there's one crew boss left back at the over
Yeah.
at the, all right. So we're gonna have crew boss B. Crew boss B is going to attempt to boost his other minions. He's going to give a big rousing speech. Get them! And let's go ahead and have that happen. So it's going to roll. This crew boss is going to roll D8. This generates a 2. It's going to give +1 to both the goons. They are inspired and scared. We are now going to cut to our scene. The crew boss B has acted. Let's go ahead and hand off to those goons. So these goons are going to continue shooting at you, Prophet. Okay. So the first one just unloads its guns upon you with its D8 and does 2 damage to you, Prophet, as bullets fly into your pretty tough skin.
All right.
They're going to hand off, or, I'm sorry, with the +1 is going to be 3 damage. And that +1 goes away. Next one shoots at you. Again, rolls a 2. So that's going to be a total of 6 damage between the two of them. Their boosts are gone.
So I took the first 3, and then the second one, I'm going to use a reaction.
Okay. What's the reaction?
Right back at you. When I'm attacked by a nearby enemy, the attacker also takes an equal amount of damage. So I will say as they are shooting, they shoot some beakers that are in the lab full of acid. And as I run behind them, and the acid luckily sprays towards them. So they
splashes on them. So they are a minion. They've got a D8. They're taking 3 damage. Okay. Regardless of what happened, if they succeed and roll higher than a 3, then their die just degrades down to a D6. If they fail this, they're taken out. So we need a low roll from this minion, which we do not get, but their die degrades down to a D6.
Excellent.
All right, so let's go back to the scene here. Both crew have acted. They're now going to hand it off to the cryodyne drones, who are going to shoot their little lasers at you, Midnight Warden. So pew pew. Where'd my little drones go?
What are they? The D4 or D6?
I think they're D4s. I've got to bring them up here, though. Yep, they're just little D4s. Here it comes. Little laser pew pew on you for 4 damage.
Ouch. Damn, indeed.
So these just little buzzing tiny, and I'm imagining they're not any bigger than, say, like a mini frisbee, right? They're just these little tiny annoying drones that are shooting their little
pellet
things.
Guns.
Yeah, pew pew. So they have acted now. Boy, oh boy, we've got Dark Veil, Midnight Warden, Flame Strike, Beacon, and the Scene. I think they hand off to you, Midnight Warden.
Okay. So.
And you're sitting at a +3 boost.
Yes. The thing is, this is not necessarily an ability that I have to just, like, it's not one of my green, yellow, red abilities that I have to dig into somebody's brain to do exactly what I know I want to do. So how am I going to go about it then?
Well,
like
so
I have something like telepathy where I can communicate.
Yeah, so you can do this. You can do this as just a standard attack.
Okay.
Use telepathy as your power, and then use a quality and your status die, and it'll be the effect will be your mid. Now the question is You could do this as an overcome, right? If you're trying to accomplish something,
Mhm.
you and I can talk about what
Yeah.
what a success looks like.
That is the hope, to overcome the situation, not necessarily to do damage points, but to
Sure.
hopefully pull her husband out of whatever stupor or whatever he's under, if that
What
is the case.
what is happening here, right? So it sounds to me like you're trying to kind of tap into the mind here and say something. And hopefully accomplishing it by kind of shaking them out of it if they're in some sort of daze.
That is the hope. Yes.
Okay. You're going to be at a +3. Look at your overcome green abilities. Do either of those apply?
The only overcome that I have is overcome using knowledge from overcome using knowledge from your civilian life and use your max die. That actually would apply.
So what do you think? So one of the things that you know as a magician is misdirection.
I do.
Yeah, and subtle patter and things like that. I'm totally good with you using
I was
that.
more thinking that. So, do we even know who this is? Like, because
All we
it was-
know is it's Flame Strike.
yeah, it's Flamestruck, but I don't necessarily know who this person is, right? I just know they have a relationship to Silent Tempest.
I think
But
that's
I
the
don't know.
case. I don't think Silent Tempest made it clear that they
Yeah.
that like you knew in her villain life that they were a
Yeah.
dynamic duo, right?
Yeah.
A villain pair. I don't think you know that that's Mr. Gray.
Mm.
So what is your civilian life knowledge, you think?
Well, then the civilian life doesn't really help me because I don't.
but
Otherwise, I
what
would
if
have said
you-
like, "Oh, I know them."
Yeah, but what if you know? I mean, you know Silent Tempest, and she's acting weird.
Oh, she
Because,
is acting weird. Most
Yeah,
certainly.
so
Like,
maybe
oh,
maybe you're getting
like
some
she was dating
signals.
him before. I think
So
I can
that's your
maybe
civilian
make a
life part.
deduction.
Yeah, there's something weird. Yeah.
I'm totally good with you using this as your overcome. So the first
Okay.
thing is everybody gets a hero point,
Yes.
and we're going to use your max die at a +3 for
I would
this
also like
overcome.
to use one of my hero point rewards of +2.
+5.
Yes, that's the hope. It would be, yeah, telepathy.
Which quality?
It would be social.
I'm good with social.
No, actually, alluring,
I like that
captivating.
too.
That makes the other one is leadership. So, alluring and green status die. So,
+5 max.
all right, let's do it. Oh, the max die, right?
That's a 13.
Okay, good. That helps.
The
a little bit.
action succeeds beyond expectations.
Okay. So
You reach out.
Yeah.
And you get some resistance from the helmet, almost like built in. There's some anti-mind control tech inside of this helmet, but you're able to puncture that.
mhm.
And you reach into the mind, and you don't know whose mind you're jumping into. You instinctively know that Flame Strike used to work with Silent Tempest. When you get in there, you enter the mind of a teenage boy who knows all kinds of science and who works with some professor at the university, but seems to have no connection to Miss Gray. What do you say once you realize and you're in there?
To this boy in there, essentially. Why are you doing this?
I don't even know where I am.
Okay. You are putting yourself and your friends in danger. You need to listen very carefully. I'm here to help you.
And he's looking at you inside this mindscape that you've created with Stevie, and he's so frightened in his face, and he goes,
Have I met Stevie before? Sorry to interrupt.
I don't think so, but I think you're making a connection because you do know of Professor McCoy, right? So I think you're making some connection here, but not necessarily that in like normal life, Beacon is a mentor for this teenage boy. And in this mindscape, I'm imagining pure darkness. He's sitting there kind of almost in a fetal position, sitting up, holding his knees to his chest. And he goes, but what about him? And you look over your shoulder and you see the image of Neuronexus. And Neuronexus is standing there going, I have to say, I've learned a lot about you, Midnight Warden. Didn't know you were capable of this.
I didn't think you would stoop as low to go after one's parent. How about you take someone on your size, not some old lady? Huh? Not some young kid. What are you, a bully? You're just some bully.
I had so much fun with your mother. I think I should go find her. And he dissipates away. Now, here's what happens. Silent Tempest, you are watching Midnight Warden. What do you like? Somebody watching you do this. What are they seeing you right now?
I think once I penetrate into the mind, I think I just sink on my knees and just arms are slack on the side and just eyes are black as I'm just focusing.
Silent Tempest, and all this chaos, these board members are screaming. We've got Dark Veil kind of jumping around, getting the crap kicked out of her so far. Going there. You look over at Flame Strike and you see Flame Strike drop and grab onto his knees. And he is now sitting in the center of this office in a fetal position, sitting up just like Stevie was. And Midnight Warden, you see Stevie just go and appear to fall asleep in this mindscape as you come back to reality. That is going to take Flame Strike out of this battle.
Oh, thank God.
So, Midnight Warden, you can hand this off to Dark Veil, Beacon, or the Scene.
I'm going to have to... I want to know what Dark Veil does in the meantime.
Let's see what Dark Veil does in the meantime. Dark Veil is watching as her long-lost, stolen love just drops to the ground and grabs onto his knees. And she's so confused. She's, get up, Flame Strike! Get up! And she's going to strike at you, assuming, Midnight Warden, you are the cause of this. Do you have a penalty?
I do not have a penalty.
You have no penalties right now. You use your +3 boost. She's going to attack you with her Dark Blade. So she's going to leap at you, and this blade of darkness comes out. She's going to attack using close combat. Dark Blade. She's only being engaged. She's engaged with 2 opponents. So that drops her down to a D8 instead of a D10 for her status die. With this, she's going to use her max die and then defend against you if you attack her using her mid die. She attacks you for 10 as this blade cuts into you. What does that drop
10?
you to? Yeah.
10. Okay.
Do you want to use a hit the deck reaction? Because you haven't used a reaction this round.
So I actually
or do you have a reaction in green?
I have a reaction, but that's only when I change personal zone, and I only do that if I lose health. So I think I'm gonna try the hit the deck.
Okay.
As the blade comes, I just try to react in time to hopefully teleport out of the way.
All right, so let's use your pool here. So what power are you going to use to try to defend yourself?
Oh, teleportation, 100%.
Teleportation, which quality?
I'm gonna have to say creativity.
Creativity, like it. And then your status die, is it still green?
Currently green. Yes, it's currently
All
green.
right. And we'll talk about the minor twist afterwards. Let's see how much of this 10 you can reduce, though, using your mid die.
Okay.
Wow.
That'll do it.
9. You rolled a 12, a 9, and a 3. Well done. You're going to take 1 damage, Midnight Warden. So walk me through this. She is coming down for a killing blow with her dark blade, leaping through the air off of getting hit in the face by Silent Tempests, throwing pieces of this table at her. She jumps across midair, about to strike you down, and
I think as she comes down, I look, just my vision goes clear. Just in that moment, I see her coming down, and I just reflexively just like teleport just a few feet backwards, so her blade like hits the ground. Maybe some of the shards hit my face or something like that. But it's like,
absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Oh shit, that was really cool. Thank God.
Yeah.
All right. Dark Veil has acted. Going to hand it off to
The
Beacon.
minor twist. What are we doing
let's
with
talk-
that?
Yeah, let's take a look. What twists do you have available that I might want to use?
So in this one, there is the clue about the real identity for the principle of the mask, but there's the principle of the inner demon, which is what Sinister Act comes from tapping into your dark side.
I think that's
be
what I
more
want.
fun.
So let's jump to Beacon, and we're going to come back to you, and you're going to tell me what your minor twist is. So think about it for just a minute. Beacon. Looks like the control that Serendipity has had over you and Prophet and everything is not completely gone, but everything Prophet's been doing has kind of made her feel off kilter. You feel less restricted, maybe even a little less unlucky. You've torn off the first box worth of ropes on a hooded figure.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Floor
burning.
is ice. We are in an ice skating rink now because of Prophet.
Oh yeah, I'm on fire, knocked over, burning. So I'm gonna use absorption to channel the flames, and I want to return it into a kind of a laser beam that I'm using to remove the hood, like cut the hood off.
Instead of using your strength, you're going to start using the fire powers that you have. I think I love that. So you look at your overcome, so you can, because you want to try to use that max die.
Well, it's justice, I guess. Principle of justice. Overcome to stop an act of injustice in progress.
For some reason, this time it doesn't feel right. It felt right when you first decided to come over and help him, but I think this might just be a standard overcome. And it's going to be at a -6.
Yeah, it's not going to be good, but
it's going to clear out those hinders.
Oh, yeah. Let's go with absorption, convection, and green.
All right.
At -6. Well, that's 0. I don't think you can do much at 0.
No, that takes you at 0. So you're cutting into it. It's not making as much progress as you have because there's just so much going on. You just didn't have enough time to really make any real progress on this, but you have cleared out your hinders. You have to send this over to the scene. So let's have both scenes go. I'm going to start here in the lab. So I'm going to open up our lab. The lab is going to introduce a minor twist. And that is going to be run free. All the lab animals, rats, snakes, guinea pigs, monkeys, and etc., break out of their cages. And they're going to do a hinder action on all of you. You can stop their ability to do hinder actions each turn with a 3-box overcome. Now, keep in mind, this overcome does not need to be resolved by the end of the scene, right? This is just an overcome to stop the rats and all the animals from being able to do this.
Keep your boxes.
So this will be a hinder action, but it's also going to affect Serendipity.
Oh, that's good.
I'm envisioning all these animals skating all over on the ice. Like they just can't they can't go anywhere.
Oh, there's smoke, there's acid.
Oh my God.
Water everywhere.
It's a -3.
Love it.
So -3 on Beacon.
What is it?
Let's call it underfoot. A -3 on Prophet to go along with your -1 icy floor. Underfoot. And Serendipity has the same, a -3 underfoot. All right, our other environment, we're going to go back to Cryodyne for this. Cryodyne. Cryodyne is going to introduce another small squad of drones. They will all act at the same time, but there's now 2 D4 minions out there, and they're going to go ahead and act. This will be against you again, Midnight Warden. The drones are on to you for 1 point of damage with their little pew-pew lasers.
3? Oh, 1 point.
1 point.
Oh.
Yeah, they rolled a D4 and only rolled a 1.
So I change personal zone because I go into the yellow with that.
Ah, okay.
So I get to boost by rolling a single teleportation die, which is a D12.
Excellent. So this is a boost to yourself, right?
Yes.
Let's quickly do that. Roll a D12 by itself. You rolled a 2.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all night.
That gives you a +1.
You know, I'll take it.
+1 teleported.
Love it.
All right. So the scene has acted. We are now on our second. We're in the yellow. Who does the scene hand off to? Hand it off to Beacon. Beacon, you've been trying to cut this hooded figure off. We have no idea who it could be. And you've had trouble before. You're currently at a -3 underfoot as all of these rats and animals and monkeys are jumping around, and it's just pure chaos here in this burning lab. What are you going to do?
Oh, we can use a red ability now that we're in yellow.
You could. You can take is it a major twist or a minor twist you have to take to upgrade?
I think it's minor.
Let's see here.
Because I would like to do that.
Trying to remember. It's taking a risky action. So let me just take a look. Hold on. Used to add an extra effect to basic actions like hitting more or one target, hitting harder, or adding a boost hinder. No. Oh, what is it?
I've seen it, but I don't remember where it is.
I don't either. Trying to remember whether let's say it's a minor, and then we'll go there from there. So it's going to be a minor twist. You're going to use a red ability.
Yes, I'm going to use Never Again.
Okay.
Overcome using
minor twist. Minor twist.
Okay.
Minor twist. Thank you, Lou.
Overcome using conviction. Use your max plus min dice. Hinder all nearby opponents with your mid die.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna use my +2 from the past episode, I guess.
All right. So give me an idea of what is giving you this boost that's allowing you to do this amazing overcome action.
I think it... I guess... I don't know.
Well, if you think this is Stevie, I think you can still just...
guess.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, right? So
we
know it's not Stevie, but you wouldn't know that.
No, I wouldn't know.
Stevie is in some big lead metal armor.
Now the player thinks he knows who that is, but yeah, I guess it's just thinking back at seeing the thing blowing up last episode.
So let's go ahead and mark that boost, and that's going to be, what did you say it was, a plus what?
+2.
+2, and then this overcome uses your min and your max.
Yep.
Dang. All right. Does it force you to use a particular power or quality?
No, but I have to use conviction,
Okay.
and I guess the power.
Going to go back to strength.
I'm gonna say absorption,
Okay. How so?
and I'm yellow. I'm gonna draw on the fire and heat, and I'm gonna convert it to light to blind the crews, the bad guys.
Well, I thought this was an overcome that we were trying to free our person with. Is this not an overcome?
For the overcome, yeah, I guess I'm gonna I'm gonna try the laser thing again.
All right, let's do it. You've got a little bit more time this time. Now you're using a -3 underfoot, but you're using your +3 to counteract it, right?
+2, yeah.
+2, so you'll be at a -1. So we're going to add your min, and your max, and add a -1 to it, and it clears out your hinder. Let's do it.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, okay. I'd say so. Your min is a 5, your max is an 8. That's a 13, becomes a 12. The action succeeds beyond expectations. I'm going to pull 3 of the remaining boxes.
Oh, phew. And
so our hooded hostage is free.
Okay. And I hinder all nearby opponents with the mid die.
Ooh, that's 6. Wow, that was a hell of a roll. Beacon, that's going to become a 5, so it's going to be a -2 hinder on serendipity.
Can I affect the other guys too? Are they close enough?
All the goons and everybody. Yep. So blinded.
Okay. So I cut off the restraints. I removed the hood.
You remove the hood.
Do you yell Stevie or no?
Well, I'm expecting Stevie.
Stevie, are you all right?
Steve?
Silent Tempest, how old is Mr. Gray?
Yeah.
What am I? He's about like 40 now. Also.
Oh, he's so
he's
old.
young and spry. I see. That's great.
Hey, man.
Wow.
Look at this.
So you pull this off, and there's this handsome African-American man there, and he seems like lethargic. His eyes are half open. It's not who maybe you hoped it was or thought it was. And
but I know Ethan, right?
That's right. And you recognize him immediately and realize it's Ethan.
I'm like, what?
And he goes, he's just not coherent at all. Can't get up by himself. You've cleared the boxes, so I'm going to have you get him out of the fire and everything, and off to safety.
Yeah, I
deeper in the lab
outside to leave him on the lawn.
Perfect. Well, you're a couple floors up. I don't know if you can do that, but let's put him like back in the building, maybe safe away from the lab.
There's the ladder. The fire ladder is there.
You want to lower him down the ladder?
Yeah, I slide down the ladder.
Okay.
I've got super strength, him on the shoulder, and a slide down.
You always wanted to be a fireman when you grew up anyway, so that's perfect. All right, that is Beacon. So Beacon, let's talk here. You have got serendipity, both crew bosses, both crew. We have got Prophet, Silent Tempest, Midnight
Prophet.
Warden, Dark Veil in the scene. Who?
Let's go Prophet before the minions and everybody loses their.
All right,
their
Prophet.
-2.
There you go.
You see Ethan Gray being lowered down the ladder by Beacon.
Yeah, definitely surprising to me. That I did not plan for. We have another figure that I know. I know McCoy. So that is what I'm going to focus on. And I am going to do a risky action.
Okay.
To use one of my red abilities because I'm in the yellow. And
real quick, I've got a minor twist that's owed to me by Warden, and I've got a minor twist that's owed to me by Beacon. So
do you want to do those right now? You can do them right now.
Let's think about. I'll give them both time to think about it.
Okay. So I am going to. I am way outnumbered here. I mean, the rats and chimps are just everywhere, and I just need to get McCoy. So I'm going to use Off the Hook, which is overcome using vitality in a situation that requires you to be more than humanly capable. like an extreme feat of strength or speed. So I am going to somehow slide across the icy floor, kicking rats out of the way, hoping to grab McCoy, break his bonds, and at least, run away with him.
Begin the
I get
process,
to
right?
use-
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not using yeah. So I get to use my max and my min die, and I boost all nearby allies with my mid.
Oh,
So,
that's nice.
I know he's sliding down the thing, but I would.
Well, you can still give him
I
a
get
boost.
to-
So it's gonna be at a -4.
at a -4. And what I am going to do, that's fine. We're just gonna do that -4. So let's see, that's vitality, and we're gonna use. I'm gonna use incorruptible. I haven't used it yet. Just because of I'm really trying to play the hero part now.
Okay.
And I am, instead of I used to run into the main enemies. Now I'm like, no, the mission is to get the people. So I'm going to use that.
I like it.
And
This is your yellow die.
Red die, because I'm taking the minor twist.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. So we're going to roll. Okay. So
12 -3. Right.
yeah, so I use my max and my min.
Yep. So that's 12 -3 is a 9. The action completely succeeds. So you're going to mark a box on McCoy. He's got 3 boxes left.
I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to use my collection, and I'm going to change my max die. No, I'm going to change my min die to the max, because that's what I can do.
So now think about this, though. All that's going to
Changing
do
number
is now your min is going to be 3.
I thought it goes up to the max. After rolling, you can change the number on one die to anything I choose.
Right. But then we recalculate your min, mid, max.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm sorry. I was
So all that's going to do is, unfortunately, if your mid die was higher, I think it would be the time
13,
to use it.
14, and unfortunately I have a -3, so that's not going to work. I'm not going to use it then.
Okay.
So
all right. So you mark a box on McCoy, you slide over there,
Yep.
you're able to, pull some of the ropes off that are binding McCoy. And you've got 3 boxes left on that that challenge. It is now your turn to hand off. Serendipity, both the crew bosses, Silent Tempest, both of the crew, goons, Midnight Warden, Dark Veil in the scene.
I am going to hand it off to the minion that's a D6.
Got it. Let's go to our minions. Again, guns a-blazing, trying to grab onto you, trying to hurt you, rolls its D6 and does, jeez.
They're at -2.
Oh, they sure are. They're blinded. Thank you. So it's going to be 4 damage.
Aren't they -3 because of the rats? Isn't everyone -3 because of the rats? You said everybody was, right, in there, or no?
Yeah,
I think it was -1.
No, Underfoot was
No, it was
-3. It's
-3.
-5. Thank you.
Yeah.
Total of -5. So that is going to be 1 damage.
Okay. That we can handle.
So hard for me to maintain all of this stuff. It's much easier in person because there's like tokens I can hand out and mark things with. It's much harder online. So Underfoot. And the boss is also at a minus. The bosses are at -3 Underfoot. Okay. Beautiful. So it's just 1 damage to you, Prophet.
Yep.
They are now going to hand things off to the boss. Boss A. Boss A is going to give another rousing speech to try to inspire the crew.
Speech.
So 1 boost action to try to boost both of them with a 4. It's going to give each of them a +2.
But that at -5.
Oh, he is at a minus. Look at you, -5. No boost whatsoever. Thank you. That takes care of one of the bosses. So he's going to go ahead and hand it over to the other boss, who's also at a -5. That's going to leave him at a 2. which is just a +1 for the two goons.
And one
Much
of the
better.
goons went already.
And then that is going to get
Yeah.
rid of that. And one of them still has the -5.
With my mid die, I get to boost the allies. So what does Beacon get? Does he get a +1 with a 3?
It sure does.
Okay.
All right, and then both
With a
gold
three.
crew have gone.
Inspired. +1. I'll take it.
All right, yeah, I like it. Beacon is a +1 inspired. All right, I've got some minor twists to be owed to me. Midnight Warden, talk to me about your minor twist for pushing yourself, right?
Yeah, sure. I could offer maybe that I try my powers that maybe are still a little bit more pronounced right now, or I'm really upset right now, to maybe control Stevie, or maybe trying to pry out information from Silent Tempest, because I have no idea what's going on.
Just
Fair.
That, just those seem fairly sinister things.
I think the minor twist is I'm going to use this minor twist to bring a story consequence to the forefront.
Mhm.
And that is going to be that Neuronexus knows where your mom is.
Oh my fucking God.
So you sent her off to safety. Where did you fly her to? I forgot. Do you
Minor
remember?
twist.
to her sister or something. I
Right.
forgot
So
exactly
we'll
where.
say she's in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely that's where everybody's sister always lives.
Well,
is-
I don't know that.
You have an
so-
aunt in Milwaukee. So Neuronexus is prize out of your mind before he gets phased out of Stevie's brain.
Oh,
That you
so
bought
I
a
know he
ticket.
knows.
You know that he knows. So that is your minor twist. Beacon, you did the same thing. You pushed yourself to use a much higher power. What minor twist are we going to give you?
Well, I was expecting Stevie, and now he's not there. So I guess I'm worried about him still. So maybe something.
I'm
about
thinking that you have a -2 confused.
that. Sure.
All right.
Ethan?
then
I don't
Prophet-
even like him.
Prophet, do you owe me one? I don't think you owe me one, right?
I do, because
Okay, talk to
I
me.
did a red ability. My phone is vibrating in my pocket,
Okay.
and I have a special ringtone for Catherine Kumar,
Uh-huh.
and it's her ringtone. I haven't spoken to her since the day in that boardroom.
Yep.
As I'm trying to get McCoy, I reach in the pocket to grab the phone. There's a bullet through it. I can't answer the phone.
Oh no, I want you to answer it.
I have him on dodging bullets, and I put it on speaker because
Except she goes,
yeah, hey, yeah, how's it going?
Justin, are you a cryodyne?
I could be.
Is this about them
Maybe.
buying the company?
Yeah.
Are you trying to sabotage the deal?
No, there's some experiments with lead going on here. There's lots of lead. Some of it might be flying. I know this sounds weird, but I know people.
All right, so this is going to be a -2 hinder. I need you to tell me the name of it, though. So you have just found out that it's Cryodyne that is going to make a deal to buy Jacob's Inc. And you now are destroying or participate. Or no, that's right. You're not a Cryodyne. I take that back.
No, it's fine.
I mean, she could still think that
Yeah,
he's a cryonine.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah,
It's
she
his
knows
team.
The team.
Yeah,
Yeah, just like I
that's
could
true.
be.
yeah,
That's true. So what
that's
do you
fine.
think this hinder is now that Kumar thinks that you are trying to sabotage the deal?
The hinder is called crappy liar. That's what the hinder is called. Because I'm a horrible liar. I'm not a good business person. I don't know.
All right, you have a -2 crappy liar. Oh my god, that's fantastic. All right, we left off with you, Prophet. You need to pick. You want Serendipity, Silent Tempest, Midnight Warden, Dark Veil, or the Scene? It's you, Prophet.
No, it's you. You get your minions and your bosses were going.
Oh,
I
you're
don't-
right. It is me.
Yeah.
So let's do Dark Veil. All right, Dark Veil. She has just, all that has happened with her, she's been embarrassed. She's at a -1. She is going to use Darkness Falls. Hinder multiple targets using Infernal, one of her powers. Use your max die. Attack any target that gains a penalty this way that has already had one penalty from you. No, that's not going to work because nobody has a penalty from her. All right, it's good old Darkblade. She's just the sword girl.
One trick pony.
She's a one-trick pony. She's a very, very simple 34 hit point villain. She sees what has happened, her long lost love, and she knows somehow Silent Tempest was responsible for happening. So she's going to attack you, Silent Tempest. She gets to use her max die, which is a 9.
Hit the deck.
Go ahead and use your one reaction and hit the deck. Build your power pool for me, or your die pool.
I want to use transmutation.
Okay.
Harden,
Yes.
and I'm yellow.
All right. So before you roll any dice, let's roll the dice to see what happens.
Okay.
Let's see how well this goes for you.
Beautiful.
Pretty well.
All right. This is your 7, so it's going to end up being just 2 damage. So again, she's running across and just swiping her dark blade at you. You're going to take only 2 damage. Somehow transmutation and hardened has saved you from taking full damage. Why is that?
You see my skin transmute into a more hardened substance. And just whenever I use my quality of hardened, that means I'm thinking more villain-like.
She's going to hand it off to you. What is your hit point situation, Silent Tempest?
513. We're
It's
good.
okay. Is that yellow or red?
Oh, we're yellow.
Oh,
We're
or
still
yellow. Okay. And the scene is yellow. All right.
All right.
So any good yellow abilities that would be helpful here?
It is. I got one. I'll have to. Yeah, because I don't want Warden to run into too much trouble. I'll look over at him like, we gotta save the corpo.
Do we though? After we deal with her?
Hero.
Let's get-
Superhero.
We got
We got
we got
time.
some time. We got time. You're right.
Yeah, we got time.
This is gonna hurt me
More than it hurts
more
her.
than it hurts you, Dark Bell. And I'm going to use.
You've always been a jealous woman.
I don't actually feel the feeling of jealousy.
Don't you know I have one feeling and it's not jealousy?
Yeah. I am going to go ahead and use chain reaction.
Ooh, what is that?
So, I attack multiple targets using weather, use my mid die against each target, and I take irreducible damage equal to my mid die.
Excellent. So this is going to attack the 2 sets of drones,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Dark Veil.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
So, I get to use weather. For this, I think I am going to use hardened.
I love it.
And I'm at yellow.
And what is your yellow die again?
8.
Oh, thank you, Z.
I'm also going to go ahead and... No, I'll save that. We're just going to attack.
All right. And right now you're at a -1 headache.
Yes.
So that'll go away. You'll be at a -1. This is using your, which die does this use?
We're using a 10,
Your mid on-
8, 8, my mid.
You're mid on multiple targets though.
Yeah.
So first let's do it against Dark. Let's roll it and then let's see what happens to Dark Veil first.
5.
All right, 5 damage to Dark Veil.
And
Now,
myself.
she attacked you with the Dark Blade. So she
Mhm.
gets to defend against all attacks against her with her mid die. Her mid die was a 4, so she's going to take 1 damage
Okay.
from the weather. But you're doing, or no, she takes no damage because you were at a -1. So she's able to. What? Let's talk about what's happening here. What's this weather thing that's causing damage to these drones and to Dark Veil? What does this look like?
So you will see it's a searing wind that's coming through from the glass, from the broken glass that has happened.
Mhm.
And it is cutting wind.
Well, so right now, all of these glass windows are intact. So if you want, I love the idea
Oh,
of
it
blowing
breaks.
a window out.
Oh yeah, it breaks in.
And we see glass shards go towards the Dark Veil. She almost shadows out, and the glass just passes through her without any damage. But it's also going to hit
It's
these
me.
drones.
Uh-huh.
So let's see if we can't take out these drones real quick. That is going to be D4s. Actually, we don't have to roll because as D4 is just attacking them takes them out. Because they're gonna degrade a die anyway. So let's go ahead and get rid of all of these drones. So the glass shatters, and we just see all of these drones just getting hit by the shattered glass. Finally, Midnight Warden isn't going to get mini lasered to death as you kind of clear this room.
No, I'm
You
going
need
to
to
pierce
take damage.
shards
right?
of glass.
Yes. So
Yeah.
as she phased through, it hits me.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm officially in red now. So let's go.
Let's go.
Now, keep in mind though, what was your
-1.
minus? You were at -1, so that's -1 damage to yourself as well.
Yeah.
So you'll take 4 damage, not the full 5.
Yeah, same.
But that still puts you in red.
Oh yeah. Like
How many
right
do you have
at
left?
9.
Okay.
I'm doing great though.
You're
We'll
doing
be fine.
great. You're doing great. All right. That was Silent Tempest. You can hand to Serendipity, Midnight Warden, or the scene, Silent Tempest.
I'm gonna hand it to Serendipity.
We cut back to the university. Serendipity. What is she going to do?
She's at -5, so
Serendipity is currently at underfoot -3 and -2 blinded by everything that's happened. So she is at a -5. She is going to do. Let's see here. I know what she's going to do. She's going to do What a Shame. This is a standard attack action that will use her mid die. As a bonus, she gets to select a nearby target, which is going to be Beacon, which is going to be the remaining goon squad. Sorry. And turn and move a penalty. She can either turn all bonuses on the target to equivalent penalties or move a penalty from that target to another target that you can see. So she's going to take the -3 underfoot that's on one of the goons and move it over to Beacon. So Beacon, you now again have a -3 underfoot. As she attacks you, all of this ice and all of these animals going around, just by coincidence and sheer probability and just bad luck, they all are just going to descend on you, Beacon. And you have become a vermin magnet for just a moment here. So let's see what that looks like here. She's using luck manipulation. She's going to use alertness. She has got, how many heroes do we have with penalties? That Beacon had a penalty.
I have
Profit,
penalties.
so that's 2 heroes with a penalty. As those animals hit you, they do a massive 3 damage to you, Beacon. You're in yellow now, right?
Does she still have the -5?
She does. So that's 0. 0 damage to you. Very nice.
It tickles.
Someone's been paying attention the whole night.
I love it. I love it. It has not been me.
It's not been me.
All right. Well done. So you take no damage, Beacon, as all of these, but you have got spiders and guinea pigs and snakes and monkeys are just all over you right now, Beacon.
I'm just thinking that I'm probably crawling back up the ladder.
And they're all just pouring
They
down the
just
ladder.
jump
as they're
on you
going
as you
up.
get back in the room.
They're trying to get out of the lab. Yeah, they're trying to get out of the lab. So
Midnight Warden, we're handing it off to you.
All
And
right.
then after that, it's going to be the scene.
All right.
So
I
we've got
think
mano-y-mano happening between Silent Tempest and Dark Veil. And we've got this pending thing with Miss Vale and this harness that she has.
pshaw.
Now
It's
we're
all
X-Men.
fine.
We
So
jump
how does
people.
that work again? How does that work again? No movement or
The sense you get is that if she moves or she is moved,
Mm.
it will trigger the poison to enter her body.
okay, so strong wind is not a problem. Just
No,
strong wind and
apparently not.
stopping from-
I mean,
Good,
if you
good,
want, I can
good.
kill her. Do you want me to just
no,
kill
I
her?
mean, hey.
Will this
But then
I
help
don't know
Prophet?
this person. It's fine. It's just saying. I was just curious.
So
If
it's
everything's
a
fine?
five boxes to
Mhm.
disarm
Sure.
this contraption.
Yes, we got time. So I would like to use Vicious Insult on Dark Veil.
What's vicious insult?
Yes, Vicious Insult, attack using telepathy and use your max die, hinder the target with a persistent penalty using your min die.
Very nice. So this penalty doesn't go away.
That's the hope. Yes.
Ooh, very nice.
I would also like to use my other +2 hero point reward as well as the +2 teleported that I still have.
So you're at +4.
Yes. And yes, I'm going to use telepathy to attack. Definitely going to use creativity for this one because it is a
No
vicious
question.
insult, and I am in yellow at this point. So it's a 12, a 10, and an 8.
And what's
Let's
the
see.
effect die we were using again?
The effect die is attack using telepathy and use your max die.
Ooh, so max +4.
That's the hope. Let's go.
okay.
That
That's
is 12 damage.
Excellent.
She is going to use her reaction
Mm-hmm.
of Fight Shadows. When attacked, defend yourself by rolling your single quality die of magical lore and boost yourself the amount of the damage reduced. So she's going to roll a d8 to try to reduce this 12 damage. Whoops. So she's going to take just 10. It takes her down to 24. She's going to boost herself as she gets a +1 from this. But she's in a -1, so
Mhm.
She's going to be at 23,
Excellent.
but have a +1. What does this look like? Because you
Oh.
are getting in her brains.
Yes, most certainly. I just stare her down, maybe as she just like phases back in from like getting away from the shards.
Yep.
And I think what I'm saying is you're not going to hurt anyone with that little pocket knife. No wonder that he left you if that's how you handle a blade.
Don't you know Ethan Gray doesn't date mediocrity?
Oh, wow. That's a
I
reference.
love that you named that ability Vicious Insult, by the way, Z. That just adds so much flavor to it. Oh, that's
He's been
really
hanging out with Tempest too long.
Oh,
She's rubbing off.
This is
She's rubbing
great.
off on him.
This is great.
All right.
I kind of want to. I want Tempest to be able to listen in to just.
Oh.
Oh, she
of
heard
course,
it.
just
She
like
definitely
kinda,
heard it.
You know.
I can't stay mad at him for long.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. Let's go to the science lab first. The science lab is going to use its yellow action. Is that flammable too? An experimental chemical spills and catches fire. Do an attack affecting all targets at a +1. So the attack is going to be, and this is going to be on all targets. 3 damage. So that means both of my heroes take 3 damage.
So I did not use a reaction in this entire scene. So
Okay.
use my,
Yeah, me neither.
hit the deck.
All right, so let me do the damage on the crew and everybody first.
Yep.
So let's get that taken care of. So what I have left here is we have both crews and both bosses, and they're both taking 3. All of them are taking 3 damage. So let's kind of go through this. My bosses are going to try to react. First boss is going to be fine. So with lieutenants, as long as they roll above the damage, they don't degrade their die.
Did they have still have
The bosses
penalties?
don't have
No.
any.
Okay.
The one goon is at +1 and one goon is at -2.
Okay.
So all right, so both crew bosses just rolled 8s on their D8 as one will do. So they're both fine, not affected by the fires. But our gold crew with the D6 is going to roll, and it is taken out. So one of the crew is taken out by these fires. The next D8 crew also is taken out. So both goon squads are taken out by these fires that happen. So let me update our thing here. All right, so three damage to Beacon, but that's going to be at -2 because you're in yellow, right?
Yeah, just 1.
All right, and then Prophet, you're taking 3 damage, but it sounds like there's a reaction.
Yeah, I'm going to do my hit the deck, and my hit the deck is going to be my signature weaponry. So I'm going to take my fire axe that I still have, and there's always fire extinguishers in a lab, and I'm going to hit the fire extinguisher with the fire axe to spray it out.
Oh, beautiful. To try to take less damage from it. I love it.
And I'll use my conviction because, I don't know, I just feel really smart right now. Like everything, I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the thing now. All right, let's go. So that's the 3. So
that's the 3.
I'm good.
Were you on? What is your situation, Prophet? You're at a -2 crappy liar.
Yeah, so it's
that clears it.
Okay, so I still lose 2.
So you still take 2 damage.
Yeah.
So you're able to pull the fire back, but not before it still scorches your skin.
Okay.
Let's go to.
I'm gonna use my reaction to reflect 2 damage to crew boss A, mate.
Can you read the reaction to me?
When you will be dealt damage, you may deal damage to a nearby target equal to the amount reduced by your armored ability. So I can reflect 2 damage, but maybe I'm going to send it to Serendipity instead.
I think that's smart. So Serendipity is going to take 2 more damage. She's down. Well, this is her only damage. She's down to 58.
Yeah, that's what
Serendipity is a problem. Serendipity is a problem. All right, so now we got to go Cryodyne scene. Let's look at its yellows. Major twist. Let's use its major yellow ability. Its major twist. Feel the wind. The glass walls shatter under the pressure, leaving glass everywhere. Hinder all characters. So, Silent Tempest, you used wind to break one of them. That creates kind of a pressure differential with inside the office versus the windy outside of New Eden. So it is going to try to hinder everybody. And that's going to be everybody in the scene, including Darkvale. With a 6, that's going to be a -2 on Darkvale. From Flying Glass. Right? And I need both Warden and Silent Tempest to take a -2 Flying Glass. Midnight Warden -2 Flying Glass.
Mm-hmm.
All right, going back to the scene. This is going to mark another box. All are ready. Let's quickly recap where we are. So in the Cryodyne offices, all of the glass has been shattered. There's glass flying everywhere. The winds from the 90th floor are blowing into the office. Poor Stevie is trapped inside of Flame Strike's armor, but he's knocked out. He is no longer a factor. Really, the only thing we're dealing with now is Darkvale. She's the only villain left here at the top of the Cryodyne building, and she's getting ganged up on pretty good. She is at a total of a -1. She had a +1 before and a -1 from flying. So it looks like Midnight Ward and Silent Tempest are in pretty good shape because she's worn down into the 20s. It feels like, even though we're almost halfway through, that Midnight Ward and Silent Tempest may make it out here and have time to save Miss Vale. Things are a little bit different, though, when we go back to the labs. At the labs, we have got a very healthy serendipity. We've got all kinds of animals everywhere, icy floors, flames going everywhere. Let's see, Beacon, where are you right now?
In terms of HP?
No, I'm talking like in the scene. So where are you right now in the scene with all this
I'm
happening?
I'm climbing back the ladder, and
you're
sort
right.
of
You're coming back into the lab.
inside.
You've got animals all over you.
Yeah, through the animals that are jumping out the window.
Prophet, where are you right now?
I'm trying to get McCoy.
You're trying to untie McCoy. Things aren't looking quite as good for Prophet and Beacon. The irony is Prophet and Beacon are our two damage dealers, right? They're the offense. Our two wizards seem to pretty much have the situation under control. We're going to go to credits. When we come back for issue number 8, we're going to see how this all resolves. We'll be right back on the other side of the credits. Kind of talked about it before. It takes a little while to get back in the rhythm with the mechanics of the fighting, and I feel like after the break we started like getting the groove. But I mean, I love the mechanics of this game, but I struggle a little with it, and I think it's maybe just because it's a little bit crunchier than what I might normally play. There's a lot of moving parts. I love the hinder boost mechanic, but as without Dan, I struggle. To keep track of it all. Like I try to keep notes off to the side, but it is, I will, for those watching, it's much easier playing in person. One of the things that I have when I play this in person is I bought note cards that are erase. And like as hinders come off, you just mark it and you put those index cards in front of the different players and in front of the different crew member, the different villains. So it's much easier to track all of that, I think, in person. I wish there was a way to do it better in the VTT, but the VTT can't even like show you guys things. So I've already asked too much of Roll20. I do really enjoy how superhero we feel. Like I do feel like this is a true superhero battle. I appreciate, all the environmental stuff, all the challenges and stuff. So I'm still a fan. It just, I think if I take too long of a break in running these action scenes, I get rusty. So let's do thoughts, stars, and wishes. We'll start with you, Dan. Thoughts about the session, stars in the sessions, and what are you wishing for issue 8?
Yeah, I was feeling a little bit lost because it's been a month.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was looking at my sheet and what can I do, and I remember the rules, but
it was such a. You remember, it's 2 issues ago since we've done a battle scene, right? Because last issue, right? So it's almost been 2 months since we've done this.
Yeah, so I felt a little bit out of it, but it went well, I think. Stars. I don't know. I really like that you switched two of the hostages. I didn't see that coming.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm curious
Well, I tell
about
you
that.
what, I felt like old Grace was ready to give her husband the business.
was
Poor
ready for it.
Stevie. It's a good thing that you didn't hurt him too much. Um,
What are you wishing for next
Star.
issue?
I hope we can win this one. uh, but I wanted to do a scene with McCoy earlier, so I
Ah,
hope I can do that.
well,
We'll
let's
see.
survive this.
I think we'll be able to do that.
You like?
But
All right.
uh,
I like your confidence. I like your confidence. But you've got you're not halfway there. You just got to take out Serendipity and free McCoy. That's the only thing that's out there until the scene gets to go again. And I had 5 more challenges, about 24 more boxes. So you should be fine. How about you, Dika? Thoughts, stars, and wishes.
So yeah, I feel the same as Dan, because taking a break from something that's a lot crunchier, especially when it's not focused on role play, I was like, oh, I'm so happy this scene is not going first, because I'll need to see like a few seconds. And it was like, okay, now I remember the rules. Now I remember what I can do. Now I remember why I'm mad at my reaction, because I can never actually use it. And then coming in with my fellow support class, when we're like, we're going off together, do big things, and then I got punched in the face. I was like, yes, I forgot. Better in the group. We're good. We're good. Not dead yet. So it's also fun, as always, being around y'all. For stars, I'm gonna be selfish and give it to Z, because I teed him up, and I think they knocked it right out the park.
Yeah,
with the mind
that was
control.
really cool. That was
Yeah,
a really cool choice, and you teed it up perfectly.
Yeah.
And Z, that just loading on the boosts and getting all those pluses. I had to reward it, and it created a very cool scene, I thought, too. So that was cool. That was very cool.
So,
what are we wishing for?
Woo! I just kind of want to kick Dark Rail in her face. That's really it. Like that's it. And then to see her, how she's going to react, to realize like, oh, that's not my husband. What is this? And it's okay that this kid gets arrested, so it's fine.
I'm seeing Silent Tempest handing Stevie over to the police.
Who's this kid?
Exactly. I don't know either.
It broke into my house and stole a supervillain outfit. What do you mean?
the first time she turns a villain in, and it's Stevie.
We can't let this one go.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. She lets all the other. She lets Tech Rat go.
Tech Rat didn't hit me in the face with like magma.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's amazing. Lou, thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Oh, there's a lot to unpack there. Wishes, less overcome boxes, because our scene has 14. That's like insane.
For 2 players.
For half our team. I do appreciate right now, with us split up, how important it is that we're all together. It is really tough with just 2 in a scene. I mean, just action economy, it's really tough. But I'm doing the superhero thing, right? I'm not punching. We gotta rescue the people. So that is what I'm appreciating right now. Is like I guess the star is really telling me that here, well, not star, but what we're doing is, it's very important that we're together. I would hate, now that I've seen it, I would hate to ever split up ever again. Like it just seems very difficult. Stars, I'm gonna go with a quote from Craig.
Oh god.
My star is, "I had so much fun with your mother," by Neuronexus. That's my star. I wrote it down immediately. I was like, that is the quote of the night. There's no way that's going to be beat. So
what I love about this is that we are slowly really building up like who this Neuronexus, right? He's the big
Yeah.
bad in this
I
storyline.
think
And
we all want him to like materialize so we can punch him. Or
oh yeah,
kick
yeah.
him in the
Like
face.
I love that we've gotten these little opportunities to make it. Oh, I really hate that. Oh, I want to get my hands on that guy. Like, and that's that's so genre fitting that I really love
that. Obviously, that's my fun star, but my star is actually again to you, Craig, and I'm not trying to kiss up. These scenes that you have set up are very evocative, and Prophet is having a great time. Good. There's enough there that I'm like, oh, I can totally see him doing all these things. So I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. It's funny. Deke and I kind of talked about it yesterday when we got done with Trophy Dark, or not yesterday, day before yesterday. Time is a flat circle. One thing it's I love and hate about this system. Like I spent a couple hours last night building out these scenes and building these environments. And, when you build out an environment, you got to create 8 different twists, 2 for each level, build out their die pool and everything. It takes a little bit of time, right? And this time I did 2 of them. Then you got to build out the scene and the villains. And so what sucks about it is I am not ready if like one of you turns around and punches somebody and starts a fight. Like the system is not built for unscripted battle scenes. Yeah. Like there's just too much you have to do to spin it up, right? The good part is that I have time though to create to make this lab just have some crazy shit in it and have, the Cryodyne office have some crazy stuff to it. So it's a bane and a boon in that respect. And it's one of those things where like, you just have to accept it about the system, right? That's just, these are superhero set pieces is I think a core part of the mechanics of it. What are we wishing for, Justin?
Less boxes.
Jacobs. Less boxes. That's right. You told me that already.
14.
Last but not least, Z, would you tell me your thoughts, stars, and wishes, please?
A lot of repetition. The thoughts is like really noticing how many abilities require a team to be really beneficial. And as soon as it's like, oh, this applies to all of your teammates. 1. So like suddenly the utilities like cut in half to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely makes me want to stick together with my teams. Like, we need each other. So that's the moral of the story. I don't know. The overcomes also are quite a lot. I just want to fight. So just in a weird way, just like, it's like, oh yeah, she got the necklace around her neck. It's fine. It's no worries. We got time. We can, we got time. Stars, I'm going to give that to Lou, just to say something different because I can't give another one to Craig for your mom joke. Lou being creative with his new identity and just with the axe and just trying something else. I really like that.
Thank you.
Or using the axe for the fire extinguisher. Those are like clever little things that when somebody would have written it and you've seen it in a show, it's like, oh, that's so cool. Like that's such a cool moment. So I really like those little things. And for stars, on top of that, it's just the drama. Just I have to say, like the drama and Neural Nexus. Just I'm so angry. I'm so frustrated. I just this whole like helplessness really hits home when you have somebody who can read your mind and just disappear. That's so frustrating, and it creates a feeling of helplessness and anger. So wishes, more drama. I hate suffering, but I love it. It's just I'm here for the drama. The fights are fun, but the drama that happens in the fight is the stuff that I'm really here for.
Yeah, the challenges are frustrating in a good way. And as a fan of comic books, like there's always those moments in the comic books where they're fighting the supervillain and there's debris falling on the crowd, right? There's always this push and pull that are tearing at the heroes, so they can't just fight the villains. They've got to do everything all at once. And the system does a good job of that. But it does make it, I'm sure, frustrating.
If you're a full party, it's really great because then you can split
14.
duties. The full team. That's
14 boxes. That's all we're gonna keep saying. 14 boxes.
Anyway, can we name the issue?
Yeah, we definitely that's where we are now. So what
Your
do we
mom.
name this issue?
Your mom.
Your mom. There's
Not your
something
mom,
about
your mom.
fire for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your
we
mom
had
is
two-
fire.
We had hostages in both scenes.
Mhm.
Uh,
Taken.
I was thinking like some kind of
Crazy
bait and
X?
switch thing, right? Because like
Crazy
hostage
X.
switch or I don't
So
know.
so I think the best way to visualize this is when we first opened up the comic of the issue, we saw basically a double splash page. One scene being the exploding lab, the other scene being the top of Cryodyne. What are the words that are splashed there that gave us a little bit of hint of what's going to come here in the following pages?
Mm.
there's a saying with multiple fires. I feel like it's like on the tip of my
yeah.
tongue.
Fire and glass or
Putting out fires.
Actually, I like fire and glass because we had glass as a factor in both scenes and fire in both. I love fire and glass. So
Say
let's
less.
issue number 7,
Say
starting
less.
our second collection, Fire and Glass. How many hero points did we end up with? 4 or 5?
4.
I
I
count
had
it
to put
4.
All right,
4.
so you're going to turn those 4 hero points into bonuses for issue number 8. So decide how you want to bundle them. For those of you watching, each of those hero points turns into a +1, and they can make that 4 +1s, 2 +2s, a +3, and a +1. It's a nifty little thing that I like, and all they have to do, and you heard them do at this scene, is they're able to call back to a previous issue to invoke
Did
those
anybody
bonuses.
use their collection? This
I
No.
almost did.
Almost.
I almost
I don't
did.
think anyone did.
No,
I
nobody
didn't
did.
even think about it.
Yep, but
Well,
that's
too
what's
bad.
cool is that collection is permanent, right? So next issue, that collection is available to you every issue, which is cool. Very, very cool. All right, coming up this Saturday, we've got more VR Dead using Mothership. It's awful. They're in bad shape in true Mothership fashion. It does not look good for them. They are trapped between multiple realities with some sort of AI situation happening. They're slowly discovering it. Our android has put a corrupted chip into her mouth, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen there. You can find out on Saturday. We are going to be back next week, so we don't have to wait a month. We're going to be back next Thursday for issue number 8. Missed you guys. I'm glad we're not having to wait too long. We'll see you in a bit. Take care. Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.